Today, in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan, our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And our today's topic is very, not only current, very relevant and very important. And the topic is role of youth in media. But before I will go on the main topic, I would like to inform that today we all are celebrating World Food Safety Day. World Food Safety Day is observed every year on June 7th to draw attention and inspire action to prevent, detect, and manage foodborne risks. Food and shelter are the necessities of life. Every human being has a dependency on food, including water, air, and clothes for their existence on earth. Food is the catalyst for energy in our bodies. It provides all the essential nutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in our bodies to sustain growth. This day contributes to food security, human health, economic prosperity, agriculture, market access, tourism, and sustainable development across the world. This year's theme for World Food Safety Day is Safe Food Today for a Healthy Tomorrow, which focuses on producing and consuming safe food. Media conference with Lal Goyal wishes you a very happy World Food Safety Day. Now coming to the main topic, that is the role of youth in media. We live in a media culture, and whoever controls and influence and use media the best has the power for change. Without a free and independent media, true democracy is untenable. The world is a complex place, and the influence of the media in its representation and its power of communication and interpretation is a remarkable amplifier of emotions and of illusions. Media are the communication outlets or tools used to store and deliver information or data. The term refers to components of the mass media communications industries such as print media, publishing the news media, photography, cinema, broadcasting, radio and television, and advertising. Media can be classified into four types: print media, that is newspapers, magazines, etc., broadcast media, that is TV and radio, outdoor or out-of-home media, and digital media. Indian media is among the oldest in the world. It dates back even before the reign of Ashoka. As of 31st March 2018, there were over 1 lakh publications registered with the Registrar of Newspapers for India. India has the second largest newspaper market in the world, with daily newspapers reporting a combined circulation of over 240 million copies as of 2018. India has over 1,600 satellite channels, more than 400 are news channels. Indian media, private media in particular, have been free and independent throughout most of their history. Some sections of Indian media controlled by businessmen, politicians, and government bureaucrats are facing criticism for biased, motivated reporting, behave like one party owned or governing party owned, and selective presentation. After the devastating earthquake in Nepal on 25th April 2015, in spite of India helping, tweets from Nepal trended effectively saying, "Go home, Indian media." Disturbed by the corruption, Delhi Chief Minister Mr. Arvind Kejriwal suggested on 3rd May 2015 to have a public trial of Indian media. On 8th May 2015, the then Information and Broadcasting Minister, late Mr. Arun Jaitley, echoed a similar rhetoric, saying that there was a flood of channels but dearth of facts. Of late, a lot of mainstream media channels have been accused of printing and telecasting unverified and biased news, which they retracted later. In a few instances, content from Twitter's parody accounts were cited as a source. Indian mainstream media has often been accused of showing sensationalization news items. In March 2018, the then Chief Justice of India, Justice Deepak Mishra, said that journalists cannot write anything they imagine and behave as if they are sitting in some pulpit. Paid news in India is the practice of cash payment or equivalent to journalists and media organizations by individuals and organizations so as to appear in their news articles and to ensure sustained positive coverage. This practice started in 1950s and has become a widespread organized activity in India through formal contracts and private treaties. For a long time, media researchers focused almost entirely on the harmful effects of media, including the effects of media violence on aggression, the media's role in increasing racial and gender stereotype, and its potential to shape people's perception of the world as a dangerous place. Indeed, since the dawn of talking movies in the 1930s, debates have raised about the potential anti-social effects of media. The media does have a legitimate stake in fair reporting. If TV news conveys the message that ours is a bad world, the news debates are far worse, just ugly slanging matches between spokesmen of opposing parties. TV anchors, instead of moderating, starting yelling, browbeating the panelists, constantly interrupting them. A negotiation not just of the ethics of journalism, but the rudiments of good manners. Let's add, nowhere else are TV debates so loud, so uncouth, so ill-mannered like in India. True journalists, interviewers are supposed to be firm with their subjects, not complain or survive. But the abrasive and aggressive style of some of our TV anchors offends not just their subjects, but all viewers. But one thing is very clear, that in media conference with Lal Goyal, we never try to say anything which is offensive to anyone. We give full chance in all our panel discussions to our panelists so they can express their views. We may not agree, but it doesn't mean that you will not listen to somebody, and listening is the best thing in the world. So, but why the role of youth is important? Because today so many fake newses are there, and the youth are always on social media. And once the fake newses are coming, the role of youth is very important. Instead of just forwarding that fake news without verifying, you are harming the society. So the best thing is just verify. It will take hardly 5 seconds. Go on Google search, just check up, fact check whether this news which has been forwarded to you is correct or not. If it is not, immediately write that this is a wrong news, send back to the same person who has forwarded to you and ask him or her to do same thing and forward back to the same person who has forwarded that news to him or her. That's the main role of the youth. And please try to educate, use the media like the vaccination. Today, government is saying, but unless youth will not come forward, this vaccination program cannot be successful. So role of youth in media is very, very important. And to discuss this very, very important point, we have today 8 youth with us, and we have our chief guest. And I would like to invite and introduce my chief guest. He is none other than Mr. PKD Nambiar. Mr. PKD Nambiar is a marketing strategist and political analyst. He is the managing director and CEO of Flex Communications. He is the chairman B Square Group. Armed with over 20 years of experience as an entrepreneur, marketing strategist, and a political analyst, PKD Nambiar is a name to reckon with in the industry. He is also renowned as a startup turnaround and growth specialist in the corporate sector. Furthermore, he is a sharp communication strategist for the SME sector. He has addressed various prominent political debates, forums, colleges, and corporates across the country. He shares his valuable opinions on political, social, and business issues and has appeared on numerous news channels, including NDTV 24/7, CNN News 18, NewsX, Times Now, CNBC, India News, India Ahead, as well as on media conference with Lal Goyal. Some of his well-known programs include New Age Leadership, The Brand You Too Can Be an Entrepreneur. His expertise lies in strategic planning and brand building. He excels the whole gamut of marketing and 360-degree advertising functional parameters. With the vision to deliver excellence in every chosen undertaking, Mr. Nambiar is hands-on in all aspects of advertising planning, management of ATL, BTL, and online advertising. Being the professional marketing strategist, he works with the marketing team members to assure the accurately execution of high-quality marketing strategies within the defined time frame. He is a powerful political strategist committed to delivering sincere political conversation in the major news channels, debates, and discussions, as well as taking a defined lead in making Indian youth aware of relevant political affairs. Being a motivational speaker, he believes that Indian youth has got the immense potential to transform the downfall scenario of our country into a noticeable one by making great NGOs that will play a crucial role in the growth of the nation in every aspect. When India calls itself a young nation, youth in India should not be left unexplored. His consistent effort in bringing the fruitful voices of youth is implementing a change as well as helping to fill this void, contributing meaningfully in the future of our nation. Welcome, Mr. PKD Nambiar, on our show. Today, the role of youth in media, and you being a media person, and one can see you almost every night sitting in the drawing room watching a TV, whether NDTV or Times Now or many national channels, and you are giving your views very effectively. But unfortunate part is that the anchor or the host in hurry and just cut after 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. If he agrees with your views, give more time. Otherwise, if the anchor or the host always decide whether to give you more time or not. But here you have a time of 20 minutes. You can speak, give your views, give your direction to the youth. And so the topic, role of youth in media, Mr. PKD Nambiar, please. Please unmute.
Thank you, Mr. Goyal, and very good morning, and very good morning to my co-panelists. Well, this topic is so relevant. It's so relevant, as Mr. Goyal said. Over the last 15 years have been in years of media, especially in India, because wherein we have a constitution had given us the right for free speech and the freedom of speech, and the liberty is being granted to all of us. We all have the right to talk, raise our opinion so openly. So in other words, so the last 15-20 years have been a defining moment for a country like India, even for the globe, in terms of the technology has taken over our normal life. The importance of technology in our life has become much more powerful than ever. In fact, we live with technology, we live in technology, and we can't survive without technology. That is the kind of situation we have reached. So the technology has become a part of us. Now, there is a growth, there is a natural growth or an unnatural growth. In India, what we always say that anything, we Indians are known for celebrating anything or growing everything more than what it is required. So yes, in the sector, like media has also taken the same, this from only with one national channel like Doordarshan, as Mr. Goyal said, that we have thousands of news channels. Every media channel is more than a news channel. They are all opinionated opinion makers rather than news makers or a news channels or a news broadcasters. The newspapers, the large amount of newspapers in every language, national, regional, hyper regional, then local and hyper local. So it is the power of democracy has actually given, we feel the democracy, one of the finest way of we feel the democracy is through these media. So if imagine that if we don't have these media in front of us, how are we going to understand what's happening? How do we create our own narrative or the information? So the media is not just there to bark or just to give an opinion, but also to disseminate the information, to make sure that all of us are well informed about what's happening in our country, across the world, in our neighborhood, and all over. So the bottom line, when it comes to the importance of media in a democracy, is so huge. So sometimes it is said that they are the fourth pillar. Even we say that we have a legislature, bureaucracy, and judiciary. But then the fourth pillar, even though they do not hold any constitutional power or an authority, without even having that, media has been one of the most powerful part or a powerful arm of our democracy. Now, coming to that, whether just like any other mediums, just like you and me have transformed over the last few years, so as the media has also transformed. Some says that it is for the good, some says it is for the bad. So I take a view, because since, as Mr. Goyal said, that I have been a part of the media, I also run a media agency. I feel that a lot had happened in the media is for good. A lot happening right now may not be good. So everything has got its own peak of things, or something called as requirement. So if you wanted to consume only 4 chapatis or a bowl of rice, but if you have been served 2, you may able to do it, you may be able to digest. But if you have been offered that in 5 bowls, whereas you only generally take 1 or 1.5, so you can understand that is what is precisely happening right now, is that overdo of media intervention, media infusion in our life, which may not be right for a society. Because most of the people, so the media earlier used to be considered, if a newspaper print something, we take that as if that it is the most authentic information. But today we live in a world wherein we don't know what is the right information, what is the right news. Yesterday I got, no, day before I've got received in a very, very serious group, wherein a large number of IPS, IAS people are there in the WhatsApp group. We got a message saying that the great the Milkha Singh is no more. Half an hour later, there is another news came in that now he is hearty and hale and doing very well in PGI Chandigarh. So the power of technology. So what happened was that when the media was only a media, the life was different. The truth, what it comes to you, was different. You would find that even if a typo error, or even if a news which is misprinted by a newspaper comes next day and clarifying that we apologize, that because it was not the right news and it came to us. Today, more than information, it's a time wherein we are getting so much of a misinformation. Now here it comes, the difference. So what we say, conventional media, which is traditionally we call it as the traditional media, which is called as the news, print media. Then comes to the electronic media. They have been ruling us from the last maybe 15 years. Then suddenly come that new media, which we call new media, that is the digital media. Now, all these media is having its own power. They have been complementing each other from the last so many years. But suddenly there is a wave of media, wave started intruding in everybody's private life without even you wanted to do it, wanted to have that information or not. In other words, if a newspaper were printed, I know a lot of people, I'm born and brought up in Kerala, so there is a culture that everybody reads newspaper from the first page to the last page, irrespective of turn one by one. But then there was also an option available for you. If you don't want to read it, you don't. You don't want it to be informed, you don't have to be worried about. Then comes to the electronic media. The electronic media also started intruding. It has become more than a news channels, have become infotainment channels, that is information and entertainment. So even if somebody passed away, there is a way of communicating that. So it started again in it became information channels, which are supposed to be the news channels, have become infotainment channels. Then some people in the media have suddenly become like a godly. They are above everything. They become like, and they are the advocate, they are the judge, they are the victim. They become everything. So in a way, it has become more of the media started becoming, in the news channels started becoming like an actors. So today people don't believe them as much as they used to have that aura till few years ago. Then comes to the new media. The new media suddenly have become a media. It is called as own media. So in other words, you and me and all those who are listening to us have their own channels. If earlier, if I had to give a communication to the larger audience, I will have to approach to a newspaper or a television channel for them to, for me to be heard to the world. Today you have an opportunity, or today you have a medium in your own hand, which we call the new media, which is called own media. Now, if from the last 15 years, a large amount of youth were just, if you could Google or check the details, so many media institutes have come up. A large amount of youth have started feeling that this is where I wanted to be. This is the place where I can make a difference. Not, I can be heard, my opinions can be heard, my ability can be proved, and I can be a figure, public figure. And then, of course, that's also very, very glamorous. So I have an objection to a word called as glamour. So the information is not glamour, but infotainment is glamour. So the large amount of youth were just getting into the media, and national avatars, national personalities have been born, and then regional personalities, they come up in in the evening at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock and decide what the country is supposed to be tomorrow. Or in other words, they create narratives. Now I must tell you, go back and tell you that what is the whole objective of for media. So news media is, I'm not talking about the entertainment media and etc. That is something not supposed to be the part of this, because media per se is considered as the reverend media is about news media. The news media was earlier to give information dissemination with some amount of, the opinion is only comes in one page, that is editorial page. There is nowhere else you will ever be able to find an opinion. Rest was all news. Today, whether it is a newspaper to a television channel to a social media, it is all about opinion rather than the news. So here it comes, as it grown too fast to reach, the number of channels which has come up, the number of newspapers and publications which have come up in the last 20, 30 years, I must say today not even half of them are alive or functional. The number of TV channels which were at the peak, like it is something like the technological explosion rather than a media explosion. The technology explosion every time happens. If you recall that when the telecom happens, we were having almost 30 or a 20 odd players in the country. Today we know that it's only 3 players. Same is in the case of media. A large amount of media is wiped out of the market. The reason being, one, the commercial viability. Secondly, larger than life avatars have been created, and they are become irritant to the people. People don't want to hear them. Here it comes to the importance of the youth. My way of looking at today is that, will the new media that is called as the social media will have the same relevance after a few years? It will not. As I said, everything has got its own peak, then it starts coming down. When the media was always, so there are two things which media does. One, perception creation is what the media predominantly do in any country or in any society. So when you read a news, Mr. Modi is the global leader, he is the best in the world, or Arvind Kejriwal, he is the messiah of the poor. When you start hearing it again and again, you tend to have a perception, yes, it is true. I don't know whether you all remember that the Times of India started a page called as the Delhi Times and Mumbai Times, so on and so forth, only to create the page threes. The famous page three movie, I don't know if any of you have seen it, otherwise you should go and see it. It is to create people from nowhere as a hero, saying that he is the most sexiest man in the city, whereas he may not have any of those features. Or otherwise, the girl, she's the most glamorous girl in the country. She may not possess any of those qualities. So creating people and personalities from nowhere, as the way they create, they also celebrate the fall of people. So what is happening on the one way, you are creating wrong perceptions to the people, whereas the role of the media was to create a positive perception with the news. But what has changed is that creating wrong perception about the people which are not true, or some people, if you don't like them, you put them down so badly. So you will keep finding that large number of leaders, so they use media to propagate and create a perception about themselves or businesses, but in the same way, they also misuse the media to say that Mr. Goyal is a very madman, he is bad, he is corrupt, he is this. So don't take me, don't, I'm not aiming you. So, so the idea is that, or maybe we say that the Chaitra is a very good girl, she's the most intelligent girl in the city, or in the other way, the Kaushal Agarwal, oh yes, Kaushal is okay, yeah. So this is a kind of perception creation. So over the last 10, 15 years, the media have got into this perception creation without even the factual stuff. A large amount of youth which came into the media with this overall aura that, yes, I am going to be a star. So the objective journalism was once upon a time driven the country and created a wonderful journalist. And it may not be of my time, but of course, Mr. Goyal would be knowing it, that during the emergency, when I read and we learn, during the emergency time and etc., the journalists which has been produced by this country were really great. They had an objective in their mind, that is the people, the constitution, the country, they were their priority. Whatever they write, it is for the people. Whatever they wanted to communicate, it is for the people and keeping the country in the mind. But unfortunately, and the commerce was never a part of it. So business, even though without a business, you cannot run any kind of news, or you can't do, because all the business media houses are, you may call that it is a sacred places, but they are predominantly like you and me running a business. So there is a commerce. So without commerce, they will not be able to give salary or anything. But then the amount of respect the media have got in this country because of this objective oriented journalism. There is no, you are not aligned to a particular thought process. Even though you are a communist, by your own, you have a strong belief system, you're a communist or you're a BJP or right or a left wing thought process. But as a journalist, when you start writing, you become impartial. I'm not saying everybody, but there was a large amount of people during that time was very, very impartial. They were anti-government. They were never anti-government. They were never anti a leader, but they were always ideologically. If they go against something, it is ideologically. If they go against something, it is on issues based or on a policy. Today, the policies have not been discussed. So the youth thereafter came in. They became more than the media development. They became a part of this technological revolution, which the technology intruded in the media, just like yours and mine, personal life, like anywhere else, have really created a crisis kind of a situation in the media. You should not be surprised when I say you this. A large amount of media struggle to even pay their salaries. Media is the one which has laid off the maximum number of people during this corona crisis. Why? The reason being, one, we have got more media than what we require. We don't require 1,000 newspapers in this country. So the large amount of publications, the magazines, if there were 500 magazines, today we may only have 50. If there were 2,000 channels, maybe 1,000 channels have already been closed, maybe even more than that. We don't even know, because a channel comes up in the Lucknow, few days it is there, and you get to know that it's closed. So, but as I said, it has to be an organic growth. If it is not an organic growth, it is bound to flop. But if the flop happens, the here again comes the youth, the role of youth. Because if you remember that youth of anywhere in the history, if you really look at it, youth were always been the people like Mr. Goyal. I consider myself still a youth, so I'm not crossed that age.
Sorry, Mr. Nambiar, you are considering me what?
So I am only saying that the people, the senior people have always been traditionally in the history across the world tried to manage and control the youth. They wanted to say that they are an intellectual power, they have more money than the youth, and everywhere in the world, they try to hold on to the youth. The youth every time had to fight it out and come out of that particular space and said, no, we are as strong as, it's the history. So if you remember that there is a word, the teenagers, that come up during the World War II. So even today, we now use the word teen. After once you become 13, you become a teenager. So in a way, you are getting into the adolescence or the youth. You started treating like a youth, or you know the world better, not anymore a kid or a child. So the idea is that today's youth, having so much of power in their hand with technology, having your own channel. Today, you can have a channel of your own without any investment. So you can create, every individual today, an educated individual can be a channel or have his own channel without spending any money. Can opinionate something which is whatever that person wants, she or he wanted. So here it comes that the real role of what should be expected from a good youth. So there is good youth. When I said that, I would say that the people who really wanted to be attached to the media should be impartial, and I would say that the better people than anybody else. That should be the way. It's like a judge who should never be partial to anybody, any of his party. So the role of the youth in the media is today is much more important than any time else. As I said, as it's reached its peak, it's in its downfall time. So there is always a correction which takes place, which is an organic correction which takes place. Even in the media, the organic correction is happening. Large amount of people who believed themselves that they are above this country in the media, because once they were avatar of, they are not anymore journalists. They are called as celebrated journalists, celebrated opinion makers. उनके नाम पे movie बनता है. They are considered as, if they speak something, people treat it as if that it is coming from the God, or they are the decision makers. So that part, let me tell you, that part is coming down. You and me today understand they are also like us. They have been paid. They have not been honest. They have never, their whatever they are saying is not to be taken as it is. We should not consume them the way they are messaging you. So here it comes to the real role of the youth of today. The real role of the youth today is simply this, that be active, be objective towards the country, towards the people. If that happens, I think media, there is no better medium than media to create a good perception about this country, to create a good perception of our culture and information. That is what we require. Over to you, Mr. Goyal.
Thank you very much, Mr. PKD Nambia, for giving such a enlightening talk about the media. And you have given a new dimension about the media. I will just highlight one or two. One is he mentioned about the infotainments. And that is very, very correctly said that earlier the news was the news, but it has become, then it became information, and then now it is a entertainment. People are not watching the serials, they are seeing the news channels for the entertainment only, because they know that some fight is going on and how the anchor is shouting and whatnot. He also mentioned one very important thing is that the news, what we are watching today are not the news, but they want to give their own opinion. Instead of, when there is a panel discussion, instead of listening the opinions of the panelist, the anchor used to put their views or put their words in their mouth and try to pass the message that this is the opinion of the day today. And he also mentioned about page 3. Yes, the page 3 is creating the person who is not deserving, making them hero, and those who are really heroes, making them zero. So he says in all these things, the role of youth is very important. He has also mentioned about the objective journalism. So when you are becoming if you want to become a media person, you have to have a clear objective in your life, that you are going to serve the humanity. It is a service industry. It is not in a manufacturing industry. We should not manufacture the news. We should serve the news whatsoever we are receiving with a filter. We should not show like nowadays the media is showing so many bodies. This is giving a bad impact. Yes, you want to mention it, but if you are showing such type of visuals, just imagine the child of 3 or 4 or 5 years old, what impression we are passing to them. So what Mr. Nambiar is saying is the role of youth is very, very important. In the present scenario, he has also mentioned the time of the emergency. Yes, I still remember the day the emergency was declared, the next day all the newspapers, the total front page was blank. And the very, very strong editorials were written. That is what we require. Nowadays, journalists, I can very well say, they are spineless. They have become the paid, either of which one party or other party, all parties, across the parties, they are taking the money and they are running their show, which is an unfortunate part. And as Mr. Nambiar has made very, very important thing, that it is like going up and going down. In physics, you might have learned there is a AC current, alternate current. It goes up and goes down, but again it will go up. So now this is the time when it has come down. The role of youth is very important. You have to take it again back. Thank you very much, Mr. Nambiar. Now, because the time is not that much, so I would like to call all my guests first, one by one, and I will ask them to start. So my first guest, youth guest, is Miss Chaitra BR. Ms. Chaitra, you have heard our chief guest, Mr. PKD Nambiar. Media. Ms. Chaitra, please. Ms. Chaitra, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah. You have heard our. Please go ahead.
I'm Chaitra BR, currently pursuing my engineering, electronics and communication engineering from SMVITM, Udupi. I'm from Karnataka. So to speak upon this topic, with the advent of new technology, there has been a drastic shift from telegraph to radio, magazines, newspapers, and now the internet, which is being widely used throughout. So nowadays, the students get their smartphones or laptops at a very young age. So they are technically very good and stable. We all live in an environment which is saturated with media. We youths are exposed to all sorts of media outlets like television, movies, music, video games, or social medias like Instagram or Facebook. We actually enjoy access to all these media outlets. Media is hugely responsible for molding today's youth. Social media, likewise, we know about social media, which has influenced a lot of youth. It has affected a lot on our decision, and also it has influenced how we feel. For example, I can say you about uh, the the news we got last year of the death of Sushant Singh Rajput. Everybody got suddenly responsible on social media. Like they started posting on depressions, mental health, or taking care of other people. But the sad reality is these are the ones who will not have conversation with their parents, or who will not listen to others' pain, or this is the sad reality. So the one thing I wanted to mention about this, and the second thing I wanted to mention is about the fake news. As Goel sir said, we without even investigating or verifying whether the news is fake or real, we just forward it. So instead of doing this, we have to verify and then act accordingly. The third thing is about, for example, if there is an accident taken place at a particular spot, youths are very interested in clicking their pictures and capturing videos of the accident instead of helping that person. So these are some situations where the youth can act responsible and act accordingly. So we can also use the media to enhance social interactions with colleagues or with friends through the social media platforms. The social media platforms also helps us in enhancing our self confidence. It gives a lot of social support. We can also make new friends. For example, we had conducted a workshop for school children last month, where I personally feel that we increased our self confidence to this, and also by teaching what we know to them, we also had gained a lot of knowledge. So we can use media platforms for such purpose. We can also use media to spread awareness about it can be political, either it can be political or social or economic issues. And also we can spread awareness about rights and also the evils that are happening in the society. Some people on social media spread hatred, like on the comment sections of social medias. Like, if for example, if a particular person posts his or her own picture on social media, there will be many random people who pass comments on their skin tone or color of their skin, or the dress, anything it can be. So it might harm their mental health of that particular person. So we youth have to spread positivity and support each other and encourage their talents on these social media platforms. So media is either positive nor negative. Like it depends on how we take it. So I want to conclude by saying that the use of media or the exposure to media should be optimum. It should neither be less nor excess. So that's all I wanted to say. I thank Goel sir and Global TV for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Chaitra, for giving your views. I can just add one thing, what she says very nicely about the impact of media. And she mentioned about Sushant Singh Rajput. Yes, whenever you are watching something which is disturbing, don't take it by heart, because you are not aware about the reality, what has happened, why he has committed suicide, or what has happened with him. And if you will take in heart, then you can go in depression or you can think many other things. So it is always better just see, listen, watch, try to share with your friends, okay, this thing has happened, what is the reason, what not, but don't take it. And as she mentioned very clearly, you can talk to your parents or the elders or the mentors so that you should not go under depression. Thank you very much, Ms. Chaitra, for giving your views. Now I would like to call the next youth guest, and she is Dr. Desmia M. Haldane. Dr. Desmia, you have heard our chief guest, Mr. PKD Nambiar, as well as earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in media. Dr. Desmia, please.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity and giving me just a platform to express my views and opinions on it. And I think like you as well as our chief guest, Mr. Nambiar, have explicitly talked about various aspects of social media. And like Chaitra also pointed, like social media is one of the things that's like really at peak right now. And we all might have our own social handles, or we might be following people there. It's just like this new media wave that we all are like sucked up in. And I remember I was a young teenager when the whole WhatsApp thing began, and how it is like almost like 10 years down the line, it's entirely dominated our lives and become such an intrinsic part of our very social fiber. So I just feel that it has changed the way that we interact with our own peers, our own people. Like Chaitra had pointed out, that people who are posting things on social media, they might not even be able to have real conversations with people, or like, you know, just say 2 words with their parents, or sit on the dinner table and enjoy those little joys. But I feel that like she mentioned, that there are positive aspects and there are negative aspects. And in the words of Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. So I just feel that media has that great potential to have like a wide reach, to influence how we think, to change our perceptions about how we believe in certain things, be it our political opinions, be it things like our attitude towards health, fitness, be it our psychological well-being. So all of these are aspects that we don't realize how they seep into our life, but it's something that's been happening at a subconscious level over a prolonged period of time. And I just feel that we need to be more judicious and more careful and very cautious with the way we deal. And that is the only and the sole responsibility as youth that we should take in our response towards how we approach media in today's time. I also feel that there are certain positive aspects that media has given to us. Like, for example, it's given voice to the voiceless or the marginalized communities, be it people with disabilities or LGBTQ communities, or encouraging things like body positivity. So I feel it's a medium for these people to actually come out of their shell and step out into the public arena. And it is up to us also not to pull them down. And at that note, I also want to point out that there are certain negative behaviors that we also have been partaking in and should not be. Like, for example, cyberbullying or wrong attitude towards how we perceive the opposite gender. For example, the boys' locker room scandal was something that was like so spread on Instagram, and we didn't even know that that was existential till somebody decided to voice their opinion on it. So while one person used Instagram to bring it out into the public that this is happening, this is something wrong, meanwhile Instagram on its like handle was encouraging such a group. So we need more regulation, and we need more empowered youth to step in and actually take the baton and take responsibility. And like sir, you had mentioned earlier that, you know, fearless journalism is something that we are still lacking today. I just feel that, you know, as individuals, we should have spine enough to like speak and to voice our opinions, because this is a medium that's got such a reach, and whatever we say is going to like impact so many people. Like, after you, once you've said it on the web, it's there on the web forever. So I feel that if you're making statements, if you're saying something, let it be responsible, let it be for the greater good of people. And And I'll just reiterate, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's the sole role of the youth in the media.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nesma, for giving your views. And you rightly said that the media people or those who wants to go for media, they should have a spine and they must see to it that it should be run properly. Thank you very much. I would like to now invite my next youth guest, and he is Mr. Kushal Agrawal. Mr. Kushal Agrawal, you have heard our chief guest, Mr. PKD Nambiar, as well as earlier youth guest. We would like to know from you the role of youth in media. Mr. Kushal Agrawal, please.
Thank you, sir. I feel honored to present my views on this subject on this occasion. I am Kushal Agrawal from Ahmedabad. I am pursuing my bachelor's in technology in computer science engineering from Indus University. Youth is the future. This is a fact, not out of choice, simply a part of evolution. This is that great time of life when one is really unshackled and perhaps at his best. Media largely molds today's youth. Media can be a source of inspiration by broadcasting success stories of those who inspired millions and can help imbibe motivation in today's youth to roll up to those milestones which seem difficult. Youths are easily manipulated. They are the target of consumerism. Why is that? Why are youths influenced by media? The reason is youth itself. They have the following characteristics. They manually influence one another. Thus, a group influences another. More or less, they share a common interest. They are not afraid of changes. They evolve. Most of them are aware of the current trends and news because they are connected by media. Thus, it is the dynamic nature of youth that makes them the prime target of media. The television shows they watch, the music they listen to, the video games they play, and the websites they visit all play a major part in young people's lives, offering them a stream of unique experiences, ideas, and knowledge. There is a heightened sense of social awareness and becoming active citizens in helping to implement change and raise awareness of issues. It has become a platform to connect the needy and the provided during the time of COVID crisis, be it arranging hospital beds, injections, or even donations. Media has played a significant role in easing their lives and even accepting help from strangers around the world. One only needs to read about the success of crowdfunding to realize the impact that social media has on our social conscience, but also our ability to more easily become involved in things that matter. The sharing of other person's lives and experiences helps to develop a sense of empathy. Using social media and the proliferation of video and video sharing allows us to be brought closer to understanding the plight of others. It makes us feel more connected and more willing to reach out. Even for students, this has become a great platform to educate themselves. Earlier, media, at least among students, were used just for entertainment. Now, online classes, courses, and even today's live conference are possible only and only because of media. It is true, many people are braver online with their words than they are in actual life. We talk often about the negative impact of the keyboard warriors hurling their abuse and personal attacks, whilst they remain tucked safely behind the screen. And certainly, there is no end to this behavior. However, for many young people, shy, introverted, maybe not given a platform before, the online world allows for them a place to have a voice and to be heard. They can publicly present themselves in a way they may be otherwise unable or less inclined to do so in real life. It is no surprise that when you walk into a room full of bloggers or social media influencers, a large majority are usually shy and far more socially anxious in real life, whilst their online spaces give them a place to more confidently share their voice. There is a lot of etiquettes that come with communicating online. Being part of a team or group chat or collaboration allows young people to learn those social norms and etiquettes and to be a valued member of a group whilst still participating in a public space. They soon get to know what works for them and those that do them no favors. Thank you, Goyal sir and Mohan sir, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kushal Agarwal, for giving your views. You rightly said that the media is good. People criticize also, but it is having a good quality also. And you mentioned very important point, and that is the how the media has helped when the oxygen crisis was there. How the media has directed that so much crisis in one particular place. People took the advantage. The government has also taken the advantage and supplied the oxygen because of the media only. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite my next youth guest, and he's Mr. Shank Hangsa Das. Mr. Shank Das, you have heard our chief guest, Mr. PKD Nambiar, as well as earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in media. Mr. Shank Hangsa Das, please.
Myself, Shankha Hangsha Das, and I'm from Gujarat, India, pursuing my engineering in instrumentation and control. And currently, I am an intern at Indo-Gulf Marketing Association. So, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Lal Goyal for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this point. So, as we all know, this word media, it is like the communication channel which provide or deliver the message, news, and all kind of data to the publics. But we all know that the social media and all these things are change our life drastically. But if we see that after this pandemic, the whole thing has come to online situation. All our parents who were scolding us, or they were saying, okay, stop using your phones and start doing some newspaper and things. Now they are also a part of our social media and this media world. So as we are the youth, we know that what is wrong and what is not. But like our parents and the old ones, which are like following or forwarded message which they are used to receiving, and they start believing them. So it our responsibility to stop them and then make them aware, so that they cannot fall for these things and they should not forward it. Like now every news are right on time, right on the spot, where anywhere, when anything we can want to know. Like from the rising of stock to the falling of economy, everything is right in our hand. But if we see to the fact and we dig out the truth, many changes will be there which is not shown by the media. So it is our youth responsibility to stand up and say our word, because if we will not stand, then there will be no one. If we start making the community, there will be too late. So let's start by standing up by your own. If you are true, then people will automatically follow you and they will start responding to yourself. So like in the past, only radios and newspapers were there. So we were just only reading and listening them. Now mobiles, TVs, like the generation is upgrading, we can visualize things, we can see many of the kind of social war crisis, everything on our phone set or the handset which we are using. So I would like to say that every coin has two sides. So media is giving us the way path and the direction to know what is good and what is bad. So it is our responsibility to make this thing clear, that we are taking the things in a proper manner or not, and we are providing it to the peoples in the proper right, to they cannot forward it in the wrong way. So that's all from my side, and as my past speakers have explained everything, so that much I can conclude it from there. So thank you, Mr. Lal Goyal, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Das, for giving your views. Coin has two sides, as you mentioned rightly, and you have made a very interesting point that the elders should be guided by the youth. Why not? After all, today we are also learning new technology. We are not aware about I have not, to be very frank, I have not touched the laptop till 22nd March 2020, when the first Janta curfew and when my first media conference started. It is now more than 15 months. I have touched the laptop for the first time, and I have learned from the youth only, like you. So that is a very good point. If the youth will decide and try to enlighten, or rather I will say the mentoring the senior citizens or the adults, that is a very, very good point. Thank you very much, Mr. Das, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Srishti V. Kakade. Miss Srishti, you have heard our chief guest, Mr. PKD Nambiar, as well as earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in media. Miss Srishti V. Kakade, please.
Respected Mr. PKD Nambiar, sir, respected Mr. Lal Goyal, all the youth guests present in the conference, and all the listeners watching live, a very good morning to one and all. I am Srishti Kakade from Baramati district, Pune, Maharashtra. I am pursuing my degree in horticulture at College of Agriculture, Pune. I am an active NSS leader, part of council of my university, as well as leader of Agricultural Revolution Forum of the university. Friends, the most censored and hot topic that is always in the limelight is none other than youth and media. And this takes our conference to the topic, the role of youth in media. India, the great India, which was under the dominance of British Empire for about 150 years. When India got independence, at that time, the role of youth and media was noteworthy. There was a great impact of media on youth, which led to build patriotism in them. As we all are aware, that during the freedom struggle, there was a sound positive relation between media and youth, which entirely contributed for the independence of India. But now you all are seeing, as the days passed, commercialization of media has led to its negative impact on youth as well as the society, which further gave rise to unhealthy competition among various medias for like money making, then we can call it as fame, etc. And also media is losing its morality and ethics. Due to this, the faith of youth and society upon media is perishing day by day. And this tool, which was seen as a social and powerful tool, has converted into a commercial tool, nothing else. Even there are gossips that media has completely shifted into the hands of the politicians. But on the contrary, as it is said, that every coin has two sides, like someone pointed out rightly, media still has some positive impacts on youth and society. Just like today, we have gathered on this media platform to share our views as a youth. Social media has managed to give the shy Indian youth the power to speak up their minds. Even friends, the happy index of any country depends upon the economical and emotional feelings of its citizens. And here, the quality of that country plays a vital role. Even the talent shows and positive talks, a group of professionals, motivational speeches, which are repeatedly casted on media, have a great influence on the young generation of the society. Now, this is all about the positive side of the media. But as I previously mentioned, its negative side, there's a great need to reconstruct and renovate, to design the country's media. And here, the youth of our nation has to play a major role. Because youth around the world are fittingly described as digital natives because of their comfort and skill with technological hardware and content. It is true that youth are very active on social media, but they use media more for their personal comfort. Rather, I think this young positive minds should join media and be a part of it and redesign the structure of perishing media. This will greatly contribute to make India a superpower. Educated youth should come forth and use media itself as their startup. I said media itself as their startup for their career. Through their knowledge and skills, they should join their hands to spread awareness regarding health, then technology for youth through the media. Youth have a great opportunity to empower themselves as well as society by being part of media. Now, in this 21st century, country still faces the problem of youth unemployment. Media can serve as a powerful tool for employment generation for youth. Now, let's talk about the approach of youth towards media. For this, I would like to give a small but an important example. A young enthusiastic tennis player named Naomi Osaka, who was playing US Open semi-final. And to everyone's surprise, she left the semi-final. And what was the reason behind it? It was the fear of media and their irritating questions. And on the contrary, captain of Indian cricket team, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, was once asked by an Australian reporter regarding his retirement. At that moment, without getting irritated and intolerant, he handled that question with a great presence of mind. He called that reporter near him, put his hand on his shoulders, and made him very comfortable and re-questioned him, asking, "Do you think whether my game is bad or am I looking tired?" And every time that reporter answered back saying that no, not at all, to all the questions that were asked by Dhoni. To each and every question. And then Dhoni replied saying that you yourself answered your question. Is this approach towards media
Please be
neutralized
brief.
the media and created a positive influence? Now, I have a question to you all youth watching live, whether to see the negative side of media and run away from it like Naomi Osaka, or jump into it and tackle it by using our talent like a Captain Cool and contribute towards future building of nation, or destroy it into the ashes. The choice is entirely yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Srishti. And one point I would like to highlight what she says about the freedom struggle. Yes, the Young India at that time, the newspaper, which was from our Mahatma Gandhi, our father of the nation, has contributed a lot for the struggle, freedom struggle. So the media plays a very, very important role. Thank you very much. Time is short, so I could not give more comments. Thank you very much, Ms. Srishti. Now, I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Ms. Swati NP. Ms. Swati Narayan.
My co-panelists have spoken really well. They said positive aspects and as well as the negative aspects of the media. So media is one of the
First,
important.
please introduce yourself.
Oh, okay, I'm so sorry.
No
so
problem.
I'm Swati and I'm from Mangalore. I'm pursuing my MBA from Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, NITE. So yeah, to begin with, media is one of the important source of communication. Wherein a lot would be conveyed to the larger audience, at a very short period of time. And when we talk about media, it's not just, confined to television channels. It does include print media such as newspapers and social medias. As we all know, be it in electronic gadgets, be it in social medias or television channels, it has become a part of our daily life. So I feel like, nowadays what has happened is, rather than using media as a medium to educate and inform people about the certain norms and about the things, whatever is happening in and around us, it has just become a medium of entertainment. And I would emphasize the word, the new word which we got from Mr. Nambiar, it's like informant. So I'm very pleased to say, it has become a medium of informant. And I feel like we as a media should think about the factual things, whatever is behind the content we are presenting. So of course there are certain good facts or good television channels which showcase facts, or no offense to them, but we cannot ignore the fact that there are certain other channels where they would portray everything as a greatest sin. I would rather I feel like we as a youth have to take initiative, and as Goel sir said in the very beginning, that whatever the information, whatever the content we receive in WhatsApp, we have to check whether it's true, whether it's fake. We ourselves have to, we are human beings are the intellectual beings. We have the capability to understand whether the fact is true or whether it's not. So I would say, it's better always to filter the information and the data we receive and present the information to the society when we are sure about the subject matter. And hence we can maintain the accuracy of the data we have received, and we can give the best to the society. And it's like my personal opinion, as my co-panelists have well spoken before. I would not touch on that points again. I would say, the government has to take the initiative to bring in one such channel, one such authenticated channel as for news, which is being like which wherein the news can be spoken or viewed, the news can be spread all throughout the nation. So rather than having the 20 odd TRP oriented channels, it's better to have one authenticated source of a news channel wherein we get the factual data. So this is all about from my side. I would like to thank Goel sir and Global TV for giving me this opportunity to be the part of such a wonderful panel. And I'm extremely overwhelmed.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Swati. What you mentioned about the government should bring a channel, then it will become his master voice. So again, the same problem will come, that the channel will be only talking about the government side. We want an independent channel. We don't want one-sided, whether it's pro-government or opposite. Thank you very much, Ms. Swati, for giving your views. Now I would like to call our next youth guest, and she is Ms. Vaishali Putran. Ms. Vaishali, you have heard our chief guest, Mr. PKD Nambiar, as well as you have heard earlier youth guests. Now we would like to know from you your views on the role of youth in media. Ms. Vaishali, please.
Hello, everyone. I am Vaishali Putran, and I have recently finished my master's degree in journalism and mass communication from St. Aloysius College, Mangalore in Karnataka. So my fellow speakers have wonderfully kept forward their opinion, and now I am going to present my opinion on the same topic. So youths aged between 15 to 25 years old actually make half of the world's population. Now, when I talk about the leadership of Adolf Hitler, it has actually proved the importance of youth in the nation building. And we actually can say that youth plays a significant role in today's time. And when I talk about the rise of digital platforms and the growth of the internet, we can see that the amount of time we young people have been spending engaging with the media, it has actually risen significantly. And if I talk about the last 5 years, the Indian digital media has actually witnessed a phenomenal rise in social media use. Now, the social media has not only enabled users to share the information, but it has also helped them to connect with their people. But the problem here is that there is barely any regulation or quality assurance. So I can say that social media is actually like a jinx, where in one hand, you have the ability to create or share the information with the help of internet, of course. But on the other hand, you can see the spread of misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, using the internet bots or by the malicious users. So now here I am basically trying to focus on youth and social media, because we all know that we all youngsters are actually spending more than half of our day on these social media platforms. So my question is like how we can play an important role being part of social media, what changes we can bring at our level. So we youngsters are actually exposed to all kind of misinformation that is actually circulating very rapidly, because we own a smartphone device which has all these instant messaging applications. We see a post on Facebook and we try to put it on our stories or status. We see a WhatsApp message, we try to forward it to all our relatives, all our friends. And we as youth are actually spending more than 27 hours a week on all these social media platforms. I'm not saying that social media platform is bad. Of course, it has many advantages. It is good for educational aspect, political aspect. It has social benefits. It is giving us job opportunities. But when I talk about the flip side of the social media, this is where we all youngsters have to come in the frame. There have been n number of incidents because of these fake news and videos that have been violent things happening. And when I talk about 2018, the year 2018 was actually referred as the year of fake news. Yes, almost 300 million WhatsApp subscribers were actually unknowingly forwarding fake news and misinformation. So now what can we do? As my other panelists have said, that first thing is you need to educate yourself. You need to know if it is a fake news, you should not forward it. If you are not confirmed about it, better not to forward it to anybody else. Educate your own family, educate your friends, tell your friends, relatives, everybody that if you're not sure, don't forward such messages. And third thing that you can do is report it. If you have the ability, if you know that it is fake, kindly report it. Now, youth can actually use these social medias for societies also, for societies helps also. For example, as one of my panelists mentioned, that during the ongoing pandemic, how we utilize social media, we were putting up status, we were putting up stories regarding the demand of vaccinations, regarding the demand of medicines, or even the oxygen cylinders. So that actually turned out to be so helpful for the society. Everybody was appreciating such a small initiative. So that is what I'm trying to convey here. These small initiatives can actually bring about a huge change in the society. And my point here is that we should have a correct dissemination of the information. The information that we have should be properly circulated. There should be a concrete and effective way to regulate the activities. And what we as youngsters can do is by following all the norms, by following all the regulations, we can bring harmony and peace in the society. As it is said, too much is too bad. Maybe the social media platforms, if we are using it too much, can turn out to be a bad thing for us. So we need to use it in a particular way, in a proper way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Vaishali, for giving the views that too much use of social media is harmful and too much use on the social media. Unfortunately, my screen time the last week is 14 hours on the mobile and 3 hours on the laptop. I don't know whether I am going in a wrong direction, the right. But yes, you rightly said, whenever you are using a social media, it should be for the benefit for others. Like we have seen during the pandemic, how the youths have come out for the oxygen, for the medicines. The medicine is available there, whatnot. They have done a very, very good job. And I'm sure the Indian youth or all over the world, the youth can play very, very important role using the media as a tool. And if you will use the media as a tool for the benefit of the society, that's the best thing for the media as well as for the youth. Thank you very much, Ms. Vaishali. Now, I would like to go back to our chief guest. And Mrs. Steffi, are you there, or we can't see you? That's why now you are there. Now you have, because I have taken your name, you are not there. I can give you only 2 minutes now, if you can complete in your 2 minutes.
And I'm currently pursuing my Masters of Business Administration in Justice Kesagiri Institute of Management, specializing in the field of finance. So to talk about the media and the role of youth in it, I can only say that the media is one of the very important things which is very hard to separate from the life of the teenagers or the youth, because their presence in the power has made them, it is so hard seen and felt that the media impacts the behavior of youth either consciously or subconsciously. And when we say the media and the youth, we get a very little of good news. But most of the news that comes to us is very hard and controversial, and that's where it attracts the youth and influences them. And especially in an era of social media, the content is available in our hands, and that's where it mounts the youth. A study has revealed that the Indian youth spends almost an average of 3 hours a day on the media platforms. So as it's already said, a coin has 2 parts, either the positive and the negative. So to talk about the positive effects, the youth have learned to embrace the technology, because there's no such phobia which is when it comes to with regard to that of media. Might be with the usage of computers, internet, and so on. And it has contributed to increase in the awareness of the teenagers about the surroundings, mainly with regard to the curriculum activities that the children or the youth can access to it is one of the good things, because they will generate the awareness among the youth. And whereas talking about the negative impact, I can say media is something which socially isolates the youth. And therefore it mainly reduces the face-to-face interactions among the youth, and that's where social media has its negative impact. And this negative impact mainly affects probably the physical, emotional, psychological issues in the youth, which leads to depression, anxiety, and other problems. And with regard to that of the language skill, I can say a lot of youth are not using the tenses properly, misspelling the words, and so on. And the teenagers do mainly go with the trends. The celebrities are, as Sir said, they go up with the glamorous world. But the youth should mainly try to understand who they are and from where they come actually. And the last thing that I want to conclude saying is media is something like a double-edged sword. If at its best, you can offer the unprecedented opportunities for the people to speak and bring much needed attention to the issues that they face. And at the worst, media also offers an unprecedented opportunity to share in the collective outrage without reflection. So this is all from my end.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much, Ms. Steffi. Thank you very much. And now we will go back to our chief guest, Mr. PK Nambiar. You have already heard all our youths. Now your concluding remarks in 3 minutes time, please.
So I personally, I have enjoyed hearing most of you. One thing I must tell you that everything has got a positive and negative side. It is not like that the entire media in this country is bad, that all the people who are in the media is all bad and doing negative thing. That may not be the right thing. But then the importance of today's media is the responsibility of media. We are a 1.35 crore billion people, or 135 crore people, which is a very, very large population. We need a media which can question the authorities. We need a media which can help us to course correct our democratic practices. We need a media which not questions just the individuals, but the policies of this country. But it should be more, I mean, as I always say, without the commercial, there is nothing can work. But there can be a commercial activity, but then beyond the commercial activity, the responsibility of the media is much beyond that. I don't know who was talking about that. One of the panelists was just talking about that. Why can't we go there and be a part of it and course correct it? That is precisely the requirement. The role of the youth of today is that take media as one of the wonderful and a powerful vocation, but not having a prejudiced mind, not having a thought process or aligned thought process, but keeping that the people of this country in mind, the people, the country as the primary focus and the benefiting the people. If that kind of a youth coming into the picture, rather than looking at the glamour, so everybody wanted to become an anchor, and we don't even, let me tell you that an anchor is no one. So except that very 0.1% of those anchors, none of them have no value. They may not be even able to. It's not about that you have a channel. And most of these people, also please understand, there are two things. One is that the individuals who become larger than an organization. Some of them, and second is that the organization is much bigger and anybody come and go. So predominantly what I would say, if any of you would like to be a part of a media, it is the wonderful profession to make some kind of a course changes. I can give you one last example and sign off. Just last week, I don't know whether about one of the very prominent projects which we were talking in India from the last few days, maybe let me name that Central Vista. One coverage by a Times of India journalist in the front page of Times of India, I'm just talking about the last week. It changed a complete narrative about that particular project. I was involved in it. So I must tell you that the power of a pen, from the minister calling that guy, minister is calling for a press conference, the union ministry is calling for a press conference and giving a media brief, which was, people were waiting for that information for almost 1.5 years. They were not being able to get. But one article by the front page news by a journalist has completely changed that the government came up and gave every information disseminated throughout the day. So the power of the media is so much great and in this country. But as the problem is that if one side is black and one side is white, it's fine. But if only 25% become the good and 75% becomes the bad, is the problem. And that can be only corrected. As Nitin Gadkari always used to say when he was the president of the BJP, I simply love him because of he speaks his heart and the truth. He says that if there is no good people in politics, if there are not good people in politics, politics will never be good. The same way, if there are not good people in media, the media will also not be good. So it's in the interest of the country, it's in the interest of the industry, it's in the interest of our democracy. The youth of this country should be a part of the media to make a positive change. And as evolving our democracy and us, let the media also evolve for good. And all the very best to all of you. Thank you.
Let the media also evolve for the good, said Mr. P.K. Dinambia. Thank you very much for giving your views. And today, viewers, you have seen how the media can play very, very important role. So the positive side is there, negative side is there. It is up to you how you want to see the positive side or the negative side. But if you will see the positive side, then the positive side is far, far more than the negative side, because through the media, we can play a very, very important role. And today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, NewsGaon se Samvad Sarocar News, as well as was shown live on YouTube and Facebook. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day new topic. But now for last 3 weeks, we are doing a program in Hindi for half an hour in the evening. And that is for the achievers, those who have achieved in their life. So we discuss about their own life, how they have gone from the childhood and they have achieved this thing. And today, my program is called Kal Aaj Aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang. It is at 4:30 p.m. Today, every day rather, but today also. And our today's chief guest is Professor Dr. Lakshmi Goyal. She is Associate Dean, University of North Florida, Jacksonville, USA. So please tune in today for 4:30 p.m. To watch this Kal Aaj Aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang. Thank you very much, our chief guest, Mr. P.K. Dinambia, and thank you all the youth guests for giving you such a vibrant and meaningful thoughts of yours. And thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.